Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to another video. Today we're going to get started on the Mythic Legion's Equaddron and Shadow Equaddron. I am not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly because I haven't heard any pronunciation yet, and I should have asked Cornboy, so that's my fault. But, welcome to the review. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, I do apologize. In the meantime, I'm going to call him Skullhorse. Let's go with that. But, I am super excited for these. I was happy that I pre-ordered them. Me and my boy KJ was talking about these for the longest of times, and I just love this big, crazy mythological stuff. Like everyone knows, I talk about it all the time, so I want to live up to my own hype because stuff like this feeds my need for crazy, fancy stuff. Especially because I like stuff like this to go up against other Mythic Legions, Conan, all that other crazy stuff. Like this is for me, like not built for me specifically, but it's definitely in my realm of supreme enjoyment that I can get out of it. And this is a double review because they do share the same body, different color scheme, and I just want to knock them out all at once. So we'll just talk about articulation, and then we'll go over the different color schemes and stuff like that. So let's start with Equaddron first, who I believe is leaning over. Now, I really like the shadow one more, but the regular Equaddron is actually equally as nice, for real. Now, if we zoom in on the head, let's get some zoomies going. You can see that it has a really crazy nice horse head, and it's the skull part here. Like there's a nice turn of articulation here in the head. You don't get a lot of range, but just enough to show some really good range on this figure, like when it wants to turn out its expression. You'll also notice that it shares obviously the previous bodies from the other ogres with a new chest piece that you can just take right off. So if you want to see what it looks like without this, this is how it looks without it. Honestly, that doesn't look that bad either, because if you want to mix and match and add this on, you totally can with your other stuff. So just to pop it off, no problem. Just adding this in, just pop this back on, make it look good. The harness can also be taken off as well, as you saw in the previous ogre ones. If you haven't watched that video, you can find it from either me, Toy Bro, and a few others. Articulation wise, our ogre has some really tight joints, and I suggest, because it may have come like straight from the warehouse and box, you should heat yours up. This is definitely important. So you can hit a T-pose that actually get really high. We have a single joint which rotates, as you can see here. We have that ball jointed waist, and this is where it gets really fun for me, because depending on how you pose it and do certain stuff, you can actually get some really good poses out of that. Like I said, the mythological stuff is definitely in my realm. We have a nice circular pendant. We have some cloth, some soft goods, sorry, not cloth. We have some soft goods fur. Now, my one gripe that I've gotten so far with both my Skullhorse is that it suffers from the need of the joints needing some work. So once I put some silicone shock oil in there, I was able to move them without causing any sort of crazy friction. So you can see I can get my leg up with no problem now. We have a single joint. And we have super generous ankle pivot that even goes forwards and backwards as well. Mine is still a little gummy, so I'll work that out. You'll even get a twist here, right? So, oh, by the way, the tail. Totally forgot to talk about the tail. And this is latched on through the waist. You can take that off if you don't want it there, but it's there. But if you want to get some like nice crazy articulation, no, you won't get the super crazy stuff, but it will look natural. It'll look really good, like standing up against other characters and just being overall just really cool. Like, look. So I'm gonna get him to like look over and to the side, and as you can see, it's not too much of a problem for him. And if it feels like I'm reaching over, it's because I am. This is a much bigger figure, so I had to change my setup a little bit and work my way around it. But as you can see here, just looks good overall. So for those of you that are going to do some crazy photos with it, like myself, I'm looking forward to it. I hope everyone's going to have fun with this. But yeah, this guy's really fun. I mean, even if you didn't know anything about mythic stuff or mythic legions and you just saw this video, there's no denying the coolness of this figure. And it may not be for everyone, but for those of you that just want something cool like this in your collection, I don't see why you would doubt how cool this is. So if you missed out on the normal one, right, because this was a bundle set with t-shirts and pins, which is crazy because I'm actually wearing the shirt as I review this. The blue one for matters, and I really like it. It's actually really comfy fit. I like the way it feels. But if you don't get this one, right, we can talk about Shadow. Now, Shadow is the one I prefer because I really like this color scheme. It really sets it apart from the normal one. The gold here looks really nice. The black and brown mix, the shading here on the arms and the legs, it really, really just pops. I was about to curse, I had to catch myself. And then the silver, the contrast here. Even like the change in the belt, right? The Shadow Equaddron. So we don't know what race this is. We don't know what faction it's a part of. But this color scheme makes me wish that I had got a second one for this. That's how nice it is. It retains all the same articulation, but the paint scheme is why people end up loving Mythic Legions. Because it just feels completely different in terms of just painting something completely different. But that's just about anything. You painted something from gray to candy red, and suddenly you're like, ooh, shiny. They're getting me here with this. I love this vibe. I really, really do. So, in terms of our weapons, Shadow Equaddron, which is the one I just finished putting on the left-hand side, comes with 2 small axes. So you'll get 2 small black glossed axes with nice blue pearlescent here. These are really nice. And just like the previous axes, if you have any other ogres, you can mix and match and make a bigger one. But he comes with 2 of the smaller axes. Now for normal Equaddron, or Skull Horse in this case, Skull Horse, you'll get 2 silver axes with the brown. These look like they're a semi-gloss instead of a gloss, but it could also just be my lighting. And you'll also get this really nice sword, which I can't paint, but I really like the way this looks already. So I'm going to use this with a bunch of other stuff. Let's get some focus on that. There we go. So I am 100% a fan of these. There is biased here because I love my mythology. I like mythological stuff. Just Mythic Legions in general. But like I said, if you don't find this as one of those things you really, really want or you're into, it's totally fine. This is something that we pre-ordered over a year ago. So you might have some trouble finding the normal Equaddron. But Shadow is still available on places like Big Bad Toy Store and other places that carry Mythic Legions like Empire Toy Shop. So you can order from those places if you missed out. By the time this video goes up, they should be starting to go in stock. So hopefully this video will help you. In the meantime, let's jump into those quick size comparisons and get popping. Alright guys, give me a sec. Alright guys, this is size comparison time. This is where it gets fun for everyone, including myself. First things first, let us compare to other Mythic Legions. So if we're going with another Ogre class, here's Kurzog, right? And I chose Shadow Skull Horse because, you know, it was just a space issue. So here we are with Kurzog, and as you can see, because of the hooves at the bottom and the extra neck piece, you can clearly see, like, alright, look, there's a lot of height difference there that makes it seem just more intimidating, more crazy cool. And that's kind of why I'm in love with this line, because minor differences actually go a long way. So yeah, let's go on with some smaller class stuff. Let's move Kurzog out of the way. The Kurzog. Here is a 2.0 body on just one of the kit bashes that I have. Here is a dwarf size body. And in here we have a 1.0 scale, right? So we can see our legions in full force here, showing off what it's about, right? Now we're going to compare with some other lines. So let's move these guys out of the way. I don't know why I had that small bout of hesitation there. That was weird even for me. So let's start off with some other crazy stuff, right? Let's talk about stuff like if we have stuff like scaled likewise. Apollo. Then we have the Neca Guardian Predator, right? Then I don't know why you fell. You were actually just standing straight up with no problem. That's oh, I see a leg warping. Oh, that is a very interesting tidbit. I'm gonna have to address that later. So here we are with the Neca Predator. Here we have the movie My Show Ronin Mandalorian. And I chose him because I have him now and it's just out on display. But more importantly, I realized a lot of people are jumping into that line. And I realized Mythic Legions would actually work really well with this line. So I didn't think about that until just now. So there's that. So for the next batch of guys, we actually have Marvel Legends Moon Knight for the Hasbro scaling, right? Then we have the SHF Mando gonna have to put you on the other side because your capes are colliding. We have a Mezco Me. We even have a Mezco Hellboy, in case you want to do some more crazy stuff, because I use a lot of legions for this. The only thing I haven't taken out is going to be my Troll, and that's because he's deep in the display right now. So let's move these batch out, and then we're going to do the last two, which is going to be, I didn't use a Power Ranger this time, so I don't have one out on display. I've actually just put them all away. But here is a Cobra Trooper, in case, you know, supernatural threats and all of that. And then we have SHF Kamen Rider Kuga to round it out in tiny scale. But yeah, this has been super fun. Like, I really like the Mythic Legion stuff. And shout out to all the other Mythic Legions people. Shout out to Walter, Toy Bro, who I was just joking with today, because he gets my Dylon jokes. But yeah, so thank you guys for always watching. Please like, comment, say something nice, and say something nice to all the other people in the comments. Tell them they have a good day. And please, be good, do good, drink your water, guys. Later.